For this first worksheet, it's 4 terms, so it's all grouping. So it's really, really simple. So remember, we just break it down. We have 2x's, a big fat plus. We have a 3x, a big fat plus. We have an xk, and this one really didn't break down, but I want to show you anyway. A 3 and a k. We group the first two and the last two. What's in common in the first two? Guys, you have to answer or this is going to take forever. What's in common in the first two? X, thank you. So we have an x in common. If we read what we have left over, we have x plus 3 left over. In the second one, we have xk and 3k. So what do they have in common? So we're going to pull a positive k out. That leaves us with, read it, x plus 3. Since our parentheses are the same, we're going to rewrite that. That's one factor. And then what we left out, x plus k, is our second factor. You're going to look at the bottom. This is the difficult. It's not difficult, but this is the part people mess up on. You look at the bottom, you find those factors. So just this side right here. Those factors are this n. And we mark that n off. All right. I'm going to do number 6 with you just to get a couple in there. I'm going to do a couple with you. Number 6, we have 3y's, a big fat plus, 2y's, a big fat plus, a 2 and a y. And remember, a 2 breaks into 2 and 1. Group your first 2 and your last 2. What's in common in the first 2? 2y's. The way we write that is y squared. Read what we have left over. Y plus, what happens when we circle everything? What do we have left? 1. In the second one, we have a 2y plus 2y. What's in common? 2. So we pull out a positive 2, which means we left, read it, y plus 1. Your parentheses are the same, so you know you did it right. So that's your first factor. And what we left outside, y squared plus 2, is the second factor. It does not matter what order these go in. It does not matter. Right here is my y squared plus 2 and y plus 1. So I'm marking the R out. All right, I'm going to do one more with you, but I'll move to the other side. I'm going to do number 11. Number 11. I have mm plus mn. I'm going to change this to a plus, and my factors are -1, 3, and m, since I have a negative. Same thing on the back. I'm going to change it to plus, -1, 3, and n. Group the first 2, group the last 2. So if you have a negative, just go ahead and pull out a -1 and change it to positive. Look at your first set of parentheses. I have mm and mn. What's in common? What do they both have? M. Read what they have left over, m plus n. In the second group, I have -1, 3m, -1, 3n. What do they have in common? -1 times 3 is -3 that they have in common. And read it, m plus n is what I have in common. What I have left over. Your parentheses look alike, so your first factor is m plus n. And then what you left out, m minus 3, is your other factor. Again, look at the bottom. M minus 3, m plus n. And we'll mark it out. Number 5 is exactly like that one. Okay, number 5 is the only other one that's like that one. Is everybody good? That's all you do on that sheet. So break them down, group them up. Check out the next one. Flip it over. Remember that your first step to factoring should always be a GCF. I'm going to go ahead and tell you on this sheet there are not any GCFs, okay? So you don't have to do GCFs. So the second thing you need to decide is the number of terms. If it's two terms, sorry, that should be a P, pairs and share. If it's three terms, and you have a number in front, that's slide and divide. If you have three terms and no number in front, that's cheater method. And then the last page was four terms is grouping, okay? So those are the only things that you have. So we're going to do a couple examples of each of them, and then I'll leave you alone to do your own work. All right. So if we look at the very first one, how many terms does it have? Two. It has 1, 2 terms. So 2 terms mean we try to pair and share. So 4n squared breaks into 2, 2n. It's got to be a minus. 49 is 7 and 7. Are they pairs? Yes. So in the very beginning, write 2 sets of parentheses. In the very beginning, we're going to share the 2 and the n. And in the back, we're going to share the 7. And then remember, one is positive, one is negative. Here's how you get your answer. You're going to look at your answers over here. You're going to find your 2. So 2n plus 7 and 2n minus 7. And that tells you that number 9 is G. So we look down in the bottom at number 9 and we put a G. How many other ones have 2 terms? Y'all see any more of 2 terms? Number 10. So if it's 2 terms, we're going to see if it's pairs and share. 1 is 1 times 1. 9 is 3 and 3 and 4 a's. Okay, so just be a little bit careful with this one. What goes in the front? 1. In the back, I'm going to have a 3 and 2 a's. How do I write that? 3a squared. 1 is positive, 1 is negative. And if you look right here, you have them. Number 8, I don't care where you write it, is in. All right, we're going to do a couple that have 3 terms but no number in front. So look down your paper. Where is the first one that has 3 terms with no number in front? That is 1, but where's your first one? Number 2, right? So remember, this is cheater method. I need factors of 12 that add to 8. And you guys remember, you can do that in your calculator, so you don't have to do any work, okay? We put in 12 divide x, and then 12 divide x plus x. And in the red, we're looking for number 8. So here's a negative 8, here's a positive 8. What are the 2 numbers beside it? 2 and 6. So your factors are your variable n and a positive 2 n, and a positive 6. You don't even have to think about it. You can just put it in your calculator and that's fine. So positive 2 and positive 6 shows that 11 is A. Okay, if y'all want to see that again, 9 is G, 11 is A. All right, so for number 3, I have 3 terms with no number in front. What do I put in my calculator? Instead of 12, what am I putting in? 20, the last number. What am I looking for in the red column? -9. So it's actually right there on top. What are my 2 numbers? An N and a -4. N and a -5. Over to the side, here's a -4 and here's a -5. So 14 is P. So there's your cheetah method. We have one more to look at, and that's when there's a number. Sorry, just trying to get a sheet of paper. When there's a number in front. So if we look, our first one with 3 terms and a number in front is number 6. I'm going to do this on paper. And you may need a little scrap sheet of paper for this, and that's fine if we actually put it in your packet for you. So if you guys have packets, this practice factoring completely, you can use it as scratch sheet. You don't have to get anything out, okay? So 3n squared minus 8n plus 5. Because I have a number in front, I have to slide it over, and I'm going to multiply it. So that leaves me with n squared minus 8n, and 3 times 5 is 15. Do it just like the other ones. I'm going to put 15 in my calculator. And I'm looking for -8. So where is -8? What are your 2 numbers with -8? So -3 and -5. But remember, those are not my factors. Now I have to divide. So I slid the 3. So slide and divide by 3. What is 3 divided by 3?
9.
And then this one won't fix itself. So we're going to put it in the front and get 3n minus 5. So if I look over to the side, try to get it all in there. I'm looking for n minus 1 and 3n minus 5. So 18 is S. That's not that one, it's this one. Okay. And again, this was, please write your answers on your worksheet before you upload it. 3n minus 5, that's a 3. We're going to do another one. We're going to do number 8 is the next one. So we have 5a squared plus 9a minus 2. So we're doing number 8. I need to slide the 5 over and multiply it. So I get just a squared plus 9a minus 10. I'm going to go to my calculator. This time it's a -10. So make sure you put in -10 divide x, -10 divide x plus x. And I'm looking for a +9. There are my 2 numbers. What are those 2 numbers? -1, +10. I did slide, now I have to divide. And I'm going to divide by what I slid over, which was that 5. The first one will not fix, so I just throw the 5 in the front to get 5a minus 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So 5a minus 1, which is over here, and a plus 2, which is right there. So 7 is I. And that's it, guys. That's all you really do. Okay. So I've done most of them. I'm going to stop sharing and stop recording.